Hello. Oh, hang on. Turning the camera around because I always look at the wrong bit and that sucks. This is a reply to GWolfs. Who's your favourite Transformer? And I don't know if this is really... My favourite Transformer has got very little to do... Well, loads to do with who he is, because I love who he is. But a lot to do with who I am. And my favourite Transformer is... I'm with Kal-El Prime on this one. Well, it might not be his favourite, but... I really like Optimus Prime. And I like Optimus Prime for two reasons. And I'm not quite sure which of them is prevalent. I'm a goody-goody. I'm a do-gooder. And I don't mean I'm a dirty nerd, but I am... And I pride myself on the fact that I am the helpful one. I've got no problem with going out of my way to help other people. I coach our hockey team's kids, and I have done for... Well, I've coached the team that I'm coaching at the moment for the last year and a half and never expected anything in return because I find it a personally rewarding thing to do, to go and teach the kids stuff and to see them learn. And, you know, I don't have any of my own, so I don't know, it's just good. It's a sense of achievement, isn't it? Especially when one of the little buggers actually learns something or listens to what you say, or recently they've actually been paying attention to the tactics that I've been trying to teach them, and they've been paying attention to, well, this isn't working and why isn't it working, and trying to fix it. And I'm just at work, I'm just the person that if someone needs something and they don't know how to do it, I'll take the time to show them properly. If someone needs a lift somewhere, I don't mind taking them. I don't know, if they're just having a shit day, I'm the one who's interested that is there anything I can do, or is there anything wrong, or... And I don't know if that makes me a goody-goody or just a sucker, or just... I just think it makes me kind of a good person. And I think if that's your... If that's who you are, and if you all want to sit there and, you know, go, you're a bloody goody-goody and blah, 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 as Pred would say, suck my dick. Because I am happy with who I am, and I think, you know, trying to be a good person and trying to help others doesn't make you weak at all. I think it makes you stronger in that you've got the presence of mind to put your own stuff aside, or just build on, you know, make helping others make who you are better. And that all reflects back to the reason why this guy is my favourite, because I mean that's in kind of in essence what he represents, isn't it? He's the best in. They built Optimus Prime to be the best in all of us. He is the leader. I mean, he is the one. If he said, I need you to lay your life down for me, the chances are most of the Autobots would do it, and they wouldn't think twice, because they know that he would, if the tables were turned, he would gladly lay his life down for any of the crew, wouldn't he? And did so, you know, in the movie. And I'm not quite sure about his character in the new film. Ironically, I think he's more interesting to watch in Revenge of the Fallen, but I think his ethics are more appropriate in Transformers the movie, the 2007 one. And I can't quite work out why, that's just a feeling that I get. But in the first one he was a bit of a wuss, because when he was having his fight with Megatron he really should have kicked his ass if it had been the same Optimus Prime as in Revenge of the Fallen. But in Revenge of the Fallen he was far too eager to rip people's face off. And I'm not quite sure if that really fits the mould. Because, you know, I don't think he would be that aggressive. But he is a soldier, and I suppose, you know, he's built to whoop ass. And the other thing is, and I think this is an age gap thing, I think this is because I'm 35, and because I'm 29 again for a couple of times. I think when I remember back to sort of 1984 when it all kicked off, because I think I had Transformers I know I had Transformers as the cartoon was kicking in. I know I had quite a few, and I'm fairly sure that I had them possibly before the cartoon. I know right from the beginning I fell in love with them straight away, and I had quite a lot of stuff. And I know I started out. What was my first one? I started out with a Everyone starts out with a Bumblebee. It's like a rite of Transformers passage. And when I think back to Transformers, because I used to, every week I'd be absolutely chomping at the bit knowing that comic was going to come out, and I'd ride my bike hell for leather down the shop to see if it was in yet. And it used to come with the Transformers, the Marvel comics used to come with lots of giveaway stuff, and they used to do, and I thought it would be brilliant if they started doing this again, because I so love it. They used to do iron-on transfers for t-shirts, and I had an iron-on transfer on a blue t-shirt of Optimus Prime, and he had much bigger smokestacks and much bigger antenna then and stuff like that, but he was, and it was good. I absolutely loved it. And I remember my mum ironed it one day, didn't remember to turn it inside out, and ruined the print on the front, and I went ballistic, and I was really, really, truly devastated. And I think the other reason why I love the Prime is because when I think back to why I loved Transformers when I was a kid, what it was I loved about Transformers when I was a kid, and I think even then, obviously, that's when I was formulating who I was going to be when I was an adult, and I was, kind of a younger version, but helpful person, and I was always helping others and that sort of thing. And Prime being Prime back then, obviously being the big leader, he was one of the main characters, so he wasn't underground, and I think you only sort of pay attention to the more underground characters when you do get older, because you just want to understand the whole formula of the topic a little bit better, as opposed to when you're just sort of 7, 8, or as I was, about 11 years old, and you just want to see guns and explosions and cars turning into robots and fighting, which was brilliant, especially when Devastator came out. Oh, it was good. And Starscream with his high squeaky voice, that he'd just go out and just blast everyone all the time, and all he wanted to do was destroy stuff, and that was cool. But Prime was always the antithesis of that, in that he just wanted to rescue everyone, and it was always Prime that came, to save the day, so to speak. And I don't know, he was a leader. You knew where you stood with him, and just all the time from being a kid, if you were playing Transformers, and you were out, and you'd all pick who you were going to be, and I want to be so and so. I think most of my friends that all liked robots at the time, because my next door neighbour was bonkers on them as well, but he had GoBots for some reason. I don't remember anyone ever thinking, I'm going to be a Transformer. What am I going to be? I'm going to be Psykill. I'm going to be a cheesy looking motorbike with chrome front struts. Nah. I think we all look back, and I think we all remember, I certainly look back and remember that I wanted to be Optimus Prime. Or I wanted to be Jazz, because Jazz was just cool. Jazz is still cool. Jazz's part in in Transformers, the original movie, was cool. Jazz's part in the new movie was lame, and he was really badly portrayed, and it was just... What was with that car mode of his? It was just shit. They picked a really unorthodox crap car that no one would ever know. And why, if you came down from space and wanted to blend in, would you choose a car that's just like the most unknown car ever? Surely it would make more sense on Bumblebee's part to be an old shitty Camaro to blend in, as opposed to just going to find... Although we're all assuming that they did know who was what and what cars were cool. Anyway, GWolf video response. I like Optimus Prime. He's my favourite, and he's my favourite because I'm 35 years old and I run largely on nostalgia. And frankly, I think he's a good role model. I think he's a good role model for kids. If more people wanted to be like Prime, I know it would divide people by going, yeah, goody goody, but on the other hand, I think less people would get shot and less people would get stabbed, and less people would wear hoods and hang out on street corners. And if Optimus Prime was president, he'd ban emos. That would be a good start. There you go. Thought for the day. Hey, ban the emos. Can't think of anything else to say. Thanks a lot. Oh, and the reply from Kal-El Prime was about Optimus was superb. But you need to get out more.